We have the next writer, Sohaima Shehzadi, and as Ms. Komal said, she is from Zoology Department, as we had Vardali from Computer Science Department. Sohaima Shehzadi has completed her graduation in Zoology from Superior Campus for University Programs, Mandi, Bahauddin. Besides, she has been an active member and a learner in different other biological sciences fields and has achieved certifications in an online specialization in immunology and other online courses including nomics, research methodologies in science, planetology and entomology. Am I right? So please give a huge round of applause for that. How are you feeling, Sohaima? Could you just tell us? Like everyone. Okay. Sohaima's work, it has before you. Its name is Besieged by Wings. Could you come to that piece with me? It's page number 11. Sohaima Shehzadi. It is, its title is Besieged by Wings. Yeah. And I want Hafsa to come near me so that I could give you some guidelines. But okay. This is The Siege by Wings, ladies and gentlemen. It's page number 11 with me. So, this is Sohaima Shehzadi. Sohaima, my first question, why do you write?
I asked this question to myself for so many times that why do I write? And so most of the time I was unanswered to myself. But then I realized that whenever I heard something or when I ever acknowledge something new, I feel that I owe to my knowledge to write, to hold a pen and to write that thing. Maybe what I am feeling today might be someone else will be feeling in the future. So that's why I felt that I should write. Because there is a very beautiful conversation between a teacher and a student. A student once asked his poetry teacher, I don't really understand it. Why do writers write and the poets sing? You know, human beings are like waves in the oceans, never the same, ever changing. So maybe the writer might be feeling something in this very moment, but in the future, after 2 months or 4 months, the state has passed, and he would be frustrated to read his own words. So I don't really understand why do they write. On which the teacher beautifully replied. He said, points is not the point. Point is the poetry. And it felt me very hard. And I realized mankind from the very start struggles to interpret and comprehend their own emotions. And if at some point they get to know how is this feeling, they are unable to describe it in proper words. Language here is a barrier. On the other hand, the extreme desire to express oneself is a dangerous delight. It not only urges someone to create his own dimension of words and knowledge, but it also makes others' heart wide open to receive revelation. Language here becomes a bridge. I believe we all have moments, some as the moments of void and stillness, some as joy and fulfillment, and some moments are as tranquility and peace, and some moments are desperation and love. Besieged by Wings is a story from one of those moments I thought and I felt I owe to write. Besieged by Wings, I write. When I was younger than today, I used to wonder Wonder about so many things. That's why I wander, wandering around everywhere. One day I saw a stone lying at the side door of Superior University campus, Mandi, Bahauddin, front door, right side of a small garden. While talking to my friend, I saw that stone, still and lonely. I thought life too would like that stone. I took the stone in a moment and placed it in my pocket. Like finally I could explain myself what life really is. Now I wouldn't have to wonder for it anymore. After reaching home, I placed the stone in my cabinet, a cabinet where I placed all the longing of my life, my academic records, my books, my makeup, my bags, and all of the things I loved. I placed that stone right in front of everything I ever collected from this world. Life was ironic, painfully still, I thought. At the same time, I had an impulse that someday, when I open this cabinet, the stone will move, and all the stillness will vanish. Every morning when I take my bag, every afternoon when I place my bag, every evening when I take my hobby, every night when I read my need, I used to see that stone. No change. My best friend was always with me, Ash name I call him, or the book of love. By the presence of my beloved friend, every time I'm beat, I'm motivated to do the whole thing again. Until one day, I broke a habit of not coloring my lips, a habit of not styling my hair, and a habit of not giving myself enough love. I painted them with red and styled them with pearls. The time when I realized I am beautiful, I ever was, but afraid to open my eyes. I loved hard and said a goodbye to my thoughts of disappointment and discourage. It was not the life that was ironic, it was me to myself. It was not the life that were painfully still, it was I to me. In my utmost pleasure of finding myself, I forgot about the stone. The next day when I was leaving for university, I opened the cabinet and saw that stone. It was still there. Where I placed it the day I brought it home. It was not changing, but my life was. I was changing. I am the change. That day I realized the DNA I read all my life wasn't just about morphology and anatomy, but it not only takes the traits from the older ones to the younger ones, but it can also take something as intangible and as immeasurable as sorrow. The darkest moments, the old wounds that are not quite healed inside, can also be taken away by the inevitable pull of DNA. To my surprise, I too had been born with an older limb. The void I felt has nothing to do with the stone outside, but the stone inside. It suffocated me to carry the sadness within that was not quite my own. It is not always the strength that makes you you. Sometimes the wounds you are born with creates your real potential. Sometimes it is okay to not put the things where they once belonged.
Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. What does the word wings stand for you?
Wings, it stands.
It is symbolic of what for you?
Actually, I have read a very beautiful quote by Hazrat Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. He says that we all are born with spiritual wings. And what's that wings? It has a deep meaning. And the wings are used here is that spiritual wings that we all have from the very moment we are born. And actually, there are moments in the life of our parents and grandparents and over the generations, we are carrying the genes from our parents. So the main aim in this story is this, that there are some moments in the past that we feel we are haunted with. And we are unable to cure ourselves. Every time we do the thing that we ran away, we don't want to face them. We don't want to remember them again and again. And that's the reason when we don't cure the diseases inside us, it passes out to our generations. And sometimes, and we are the reasons that the upcoming generation is bounded. Because we don't cure it in ourselves. So the main aim in this is we should not, the wings, The wings stands for those wounds. Because we are born with it, we need to realize the last line that I say, sometimes the bones you are born with create your real potential. Stands here that whatever you got from your parents is not an irony, but instead it makes you real potential. It makes you more stronger if you see it with the lens of strength. It can make a very large difference.
Yeah, and I also see it's a very complex piece. The stone is the central image in this particular piece. And in Joycean way, we say that a stone is an epiphany. She picked up stone from outside the superior and she carried it. And I think the stone is the moment of stillness which she carries and she puts it in her cupboard. And then one day, she gets rid of his makeup kit also. She doesn't do makeup and that frees herself as a human being. So I think she is also using that makeup kit as conventions which we live by, and there's a need to be free from that. And I think stone, apparently lifeless, actually helps us to free herself from that conventions. And I think the second thing she talks about, that the wounds are the places where light can enter you. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Suhana. Thank you so much.